Fuck. How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here. I just recorded for fucking 30 minutes and then realized my mic wasn't working. So let's fucking run it back. Storm Panthers. This is going to be a sick game. I'm sorry if I lack enthusiasm this episode because I'm pissed. I'm fucking annoyed. Anyway, Dane Laurie comes in for Dylan Edwards. Um, Injury Ward says that Dylan Edwards is meant to be back round 5. I can't remember what his injury is, but it doesn't seem like a 2 to 3 weeker. So I think he's going to be a bit longer than that. Cleary, To'o, Isaiah Yeo, all... Cleary didn't really have the offest of games, but a few Panthers had off games, and they're going to come back, and they're going to come back hard. And this is the right round, the right matchup to do it. This is a really important game for both these clubs. Good chance this is a grand final preview, so I think we're going to see some high quality shit here, or at least I hope. The only out for Melbourne is Warbrick, so we've got Grant Anderson on the wing, and other than that, same side as last week. I really like Katoa as a pod. I don't think he's very highly owned. Let me quickly check. 9.6% of teams. Okay, so more than I thought. It's still very low for this caliber of player. I was going to say you can wait until there's an injury or something happens that forces you to trade out a second row forward gun, but that's what everyone's going to do. If you can recognize this is a guy you want to get in your team, don't let something happen to make the decision for you, because that's what the crowd does. Do it early and start banking those points. That's how you get ahead of the rankings. If you be reactionary and kind of just do what seems like the standard trades for the week, you're not going to get away from the crowd in terms of rankings. Be bold with your decisions, but think them through. Use shit like this. And this is a massive fucking tangent. Back to the teams lists. So yeah, no other changes for those two teams. Warriors Roosters. This will be interesting because this is both two teams who have bounced back. Warriors have a big home advantage here. It is tough playing them in Melbourne, in New Zealand. But the Roosters looked really good last week. They've got Lenu and Victor Radley back in the team, so that's huge. And Docker Clay, Fiketti, and Blake Steep were all huge last week. I'm actually a little bit worried that they might negatively impact Nafahu White. Even if they do, he's already got himself into a position where he's going to make us a bit of money. So worst case scenario, we recognise that he's a sell, flip him to maybe one of these guys and bank some money in the process. For the Warriors, looks like a relatively unchanged side to me. And why would you change anything after last week? Voimunga's a sell. I'm probably going to get that done next week. Broncos Cowboys. I'm not going to act surprised like I haven't seen this before. Derby's in. Derby's in for Braden Burns while he's injured. I can't recommend bringing any Cowboys in at all. Even the cheapies can't make money. Fuck it. Absolutely fuck it. Speaking of cheapies, Duffy's been dropped. Clifford's in. So he's a sell. I was doing that this week anyway. I've put Sandon back, I think. Yeah, so I've put Sandon in there, moved Hines down to my flex. Otherwise it wouldn't let me do it. And that's with turning Turbo into Haas as well. So, and that's only with 2 trades. I need someone to emerge to take place of Voimunga. There isn't anyone that cheap at the moment. There's Jagoz, but he didn't do very well last week. I think he might have had a couple of fluke scores. Not sold on it. I don't want to waste a trade on that. The other option is just leave him and put up with it until I have the money to upgrade him. Because I don't want to burn a trade to get in another potential problem in Jakashevsky. As for changes, yep, the only difference here is that Braden Burns is out. We've got an unchanged side for the Broncos. This could be an absolute demolition. The Cowboys are the only team to be consistently shit so far, as in it's been 2 rounds and they've been towed twice. I don't think any other team's been absolutely towed twice. So, and, you know, there's new players coming in everywhere. It's going to be clunky. Yeah, that could be rough. Sharks Rabbitohs. Hines made up for his lackluster first score last week, I think, with getting the goal kicking back. He scored good enough. I'm happy with it. If you had another halfback in his place that scored an 87, you'd be like, fuck yeah, but because it's Hines and everyone's used to him scoring 280. Like, just relax. He's scoring good. He'll do. His counterpart over here, Jamie Humphries, I really like him, but I think I've left it too late. There's other shit I need to do. He's going to start rising in cash. Don't really want to spend any more than he already is, so that's alright. We can let that one slide. As for changes in this game, Bentley, Hape, and Hubner out. Hubner suspended for the Sharks. Same team. Cool. Let's move on. This game, I can't tell if it's going to be 40-50 or 4-6. Are both teams going to be able to attack? Are both teams going to be able to defend? Who the fuck knows? I feel like this is a dartboard multi type of game. Like, bang, ooh, Tom Gilbert. Bang, ooh, Coruscant. Like, anything could fucking happen here. No outs, so nothing to cover there. You can expect all these guys to play, except for late mail. Titans Knights. So we can't be too critical of the Titans straight away. Every team in the comp has had 2 games at this point. They're the only team that's had 1. That's quite a disadvantage. You just don't want the round 1 bye. You don't want your season to start off clunky and disjointed like that. So we'll see how the Titans go. And the Knights actually have a couple of outs. They've got, Pierce Paul and Leo Thompson out. And the Titans do have a decent forward pack. So maybe the Knights get rolled here. I hope not, because I want Ponga to do well. As for outs, Khan Pereira, Jamin Jolliffe. So that's a couple of pretty significant outs for them too. Yeah, Tony Francis in there. Not a buy. Don't do it. I don't think Jamin Jolliffe, who comes in the forwards. Verrills? Or is it Randall on the bench? No, Brock Gray. Okay. Nothing Supercoach relevant there. Moving on to the Eels and the Bulldogs. Eels are they're like the Cowboys that can put up Supercoach scores, even when they get shit on. There's going to be a few players in here that do okay, but I can't recommend buying any of them. Even Iongi. If you've got him, sure, hold, save the trade. He's going to make a bit of money. But he's not like a slam dunk after his shit score last week that fucked with his BE, and now he's not going to generate anywhere near as much cash. Dylan Brown, like, do you really want him in your Supercoach team while he's got all this head noise going on with his fucking own club's fans hating him? Can't recommend that. Like, I think the Eels, there's a world where they do worse than the Cowboys until Moses comes back. Brendan Hand scored a fucking 9 or something. Jermaine Hopgood, I respect people who picked him because I think before a ball's kicked, that was a smart decision, but no one could have predicted that this is how shit the Eels would be, so move him on before he drops cash. No one particularly relevant on the interchange there. Let's have a look at the outs. Oh, of course, Burton and Kickout. So, who's in the halves? Bailey Hayward. Whatever. He's only going to have that spot for a little bit. And then Kickout, so that will be Tupanua is starting. Curran is starting. Some new names on the bench. Cool. Manly Raiders. Turbo and Cherry are both named. Now, this is what I'm going to be thinking about until Thursday. Because you can't... This is on a Sunday, but don't make your decision on Turbo on Sunday, because if you do trade him, the only person you can bring in is KO Weeks or Lehigh Hopewadi. You're limiting yourself massively. You need this to be decided before any players lock out to give yourself the best opportunity to make the best decision. So I've got him sold at the moment. And with the Jules, I managed to sell Turbo to Haas. Now, the question for me is, do I want Turbo or do I want Haas? At the moment, Haas looks like a pretty safe 80 to 100. We need a bigger sample size on him, but those are scores that you would take from Turbo, that you'd be okay with. And you have Turbo for the 130s, the 150s. Is he gonna get spelled early, particularly if there's blowouts? If there is a blowout, there's a good chance that he's scoring all the points within that blowout, so you can afford for him to be taken off. Or is he prone to rests? I think there's too many question marks, and this is coming from a Manly player. I fucking love Tom. But for my Supercoach team, I've got Lehigh down there at the moment. Next week, I can make moves to get Lehigh back in the center wing and bring in Pappenhausen. And for, nearly 300k cheaper. I like that better. Melbourne are going to carve up so many fucking teams. Paps will get to 800k easily, I reckon. If he stays fit, that is. So, I might do another video if I have time this week, literally just on the Tom Trbojevic saga, because there's so many different routes he could take. Cherry Evans is also named, so that makes Olakau'atu a keep. Cherry Evans only had back spasms. That's like a really quick recovery thing, so he's all good. If he was out, I would have taken Olakau'atu out, because Olakau'atu scores shit with Cherry Evans out. He actually scores better with Tom out, but he still scores good with Tom in as well. So a lot to consider with Manly here. Just stay up to date. Watch my late mail video on Thursday. You should be good. Takaiaho's back in for Manly as well, which is, I love that. He was great for us. Nathan Brown in the reserves. Hopefully we'll see a bit of him soon. So outs, Sipley and Madison. Nothing too relevant there. Zach Hosking with a broken hand, who I'm pretty sure, yeah, Nicholson starts. And then we get a fresh name on the bench. And that's it. For a second time. Fucking hell. All right, Group League. So budget at the moment is $15, depending on how many comments we get. We haven't got any at the moment. I'm sure these guys on the left here will chime in once they see this. If there's not many bets, I'll come in and figure something out. I've done pretty well on the punt up here, as you can see, with plus 44. But yeah, that's it. This is a week where you really don't want to fuck your trades up. You take your time this week, make educated decisions, use the tables and shit I provide. I'll put everything I've got in the link in the description for you guys to use. It's an important week. Try your best to get it right. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. We are still at the start of the season. There's going to be more cheapies available all the time. Don't stress too much, but if you do take it seriously, put some time in, get it right. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate yous. Hooroo.